Yo, what's Gucci YouTube? All right, this is probably going to be the most important video. They're all important, but information-wise, if it was me listening to this would have been the most important video to my entire experience in this whole realm of figuring things out and this sort of enlightenment, this desire to seek knowledge, to seek deep meaning, whatever that is to you. Okay, so all I remember hearing is you got to get your vibration up. You got to get your frequency up, right? That's what I remember hearing a lot. And I had an idea, a concept of what this meant, but not really a real good grasp on what that meant until like literally 4 days ago. So I'm going to explain to people, in case there's any confusion, at least to me, what that means and how that is so important, right? This is where like your diet can come into play, because the food you're eating can affect your frequency, right? It's like everything in this realm is energy, right? So currency, right? Like who has more money or currency is put in charge, like you charge your phone, right? So everything, like you can see how the like everything is kind of connected in a way that like the symbolism, the words, the actual way things play out, they're all connected. So it's important to get your energy as high as possible. Like if you were a NASCAR, you'd want to make sure that you were a tuned up, fine running machine all the time, right? Is this necessary 100% for this experience? No. Literally, it's just intending to have it, intending to want it, you'll get there, right? So if you want to help yourself out, it doesn't hurt to be not toxic. It doesn't hurt to be more aware, right? So this energy, this vibration that I understand now why you have to hold it is because, okay, so if you are source and source is on the other side of the veil and you're here, when you get here, it's like a game. Like it's like you come here full on forgetting everything and being very aware of this very human person that you are. However, the immortal aspect of you that's left over there to kind of guide you while you're here knows exactly what experience you came here to have and has every single tool that it needs to guide you. However, the nature of you over there is way different than the nature of you over here. And I don't really know why this is. My best guess would be that source or God, or whatever you want to call that, can only come through you when you are thinking like it, or when you are completely in alignment. It's not like it can just come dwell in you and you just do whatever you want to do. Like it just doesn't work like that. So when you hear somebody say you've got to hold a certain frequency, as you do this work, like you get really honest with yourself and you start asking where the source is for all these things that bother you, right? And as you go through this, it's going to be kind of sloppy. It's not going to be like completely known. It's not like what you're going to do is you're going to find yourself searching for all this information, and it's going to come to you in all these different ways. But through your desire to understand it and your intention to have this experience, you're always going to be in the right place at the right time, and the right videos are always going to be there, and the right messages and the right signs, whatever that is for you. So the way that you know that is because the way it feels in your heart, right? Like if something doesn't serve you, like let's say like two people see each other, right? And they're not attracted to each other in some way. Like they're both physically attractive to most people, but for some reason as soon as they see each other, there's just no connection there. And that's because, you know, their immortal aspects on the other side are literally collabing and saying, hey, I literally can see the future, the past, and the present all happening right now, and there's nothing these two can do for each other as far as the lessons they came here to understand and experience. So we're just not going to put that desire in their hearts for anything to keep going, right? So that's just one example. It's like Marco Polo, like, and until you can understand that that's going on, that dynamic is there, you may just ignore it or not even know it's happening or just think it's you. But like I said, like, you're like a radio with a tuning crystal. There's no thoughts actually coming from in here. It's all being projected. Like, when you hear a radio, you're not like, yo, is somebody in the radio talking? No, nobody's in the radio talking, right? And if the radio was to get smashed, you could just get another radio and keep the frequency coming through it. Like, if a body dies, you just get another body and you keep going, right? So once you, as you clear these things, as you clear these false beliefs and understandings and desires you have, you start to notice an awareness level that changes. You start being aware of what you think. You stop judging. You take your thoughts back. You take your mind back. For anybody starting out in this is probably the most important thing you can understand, is that your mind is constantly, or at least mine was constantly judging. So if I was driving down the road, if I was seeing people walking outside, I'd always be judging people and things in whatever way I needed to make myself feel better, right? Like, even if it was like cutting people down, like instantly pointing out what was wrong with each person based on what I thought was wrong with me, right? So what you could do is you could take, what's going on is you're taking your insecurities, what you know is wrong with you, and everyone that you see that may be doing good is casting a light onto what you think is wrong with you. And it makes you want to cut them down because that's the way you bring value to yourself in some sick way. So at least for me, that's how it was. So the judging in your head has to stop. Once you can quiet your mind, like through practicing meditation, like a half-hour a day, when you're quiet enough to listen, like once you shut up and you stop thinking these human thoughts, then other awarenesses start to build up. You start to become more aware of them. Like, until literally, like, it took 6 years for me to realize this, but it'll get to the point where you will no longer have a selfish thought. Like, even standing in the mirror to put makeup on will be a different thought for you than it is now. You will no longer be like, I gotta be cute because I want to look as good or better than her, or I gotta be cute for literally, you will not even have, the only way you could possibly want to be cute for any reason is perhaps you were going to an AA meeting with a bunch of people that are just recently clean and you want to motivate them and inspire them by projecting how good they could look if they stuck with it. Like, that's the kind of stuff that changes, right? No longer will you think that anything happens by chance. You'll completely be tuned in all the time as long as you're thinking the right thoughts. Like, I could still fall out of this, but it helps me every single moment. I know this connection's here. You can feel it, like, here. Like, it's like very, very much like, and it's almost like you're walking on the bottom of the ocean and your head's just out as you're connected. And then if some thought that's very selfish or some thought that's not in line with source comes through your head and you actually entertain it, it'll just feel like you kind of sink for a second, and then right away you know that, whoa, you feel it though, and then you know, like, hey. And this is why it's so important to always find the best in every situation, right? For a human brain, there's always these like dualities that can seem good or bad, but to the soul aspect, information and any experience is either showing you what you love and desire or what you don't love and desire, which in turn is going to bring you closer to what you do love and desire. So if you can find a way to, when you don't get that job interview, instead of being upset and listening to your friends saying sorry, like confirming that it's a negative experience, you say, no, yo, it's just, it wasn't the right job for me. I'm just really grateful that I still have that space for the right job, and I know that through desire, through excitement, through what that job means to me, the job I'm gonna get, I'm super excited about what's coming, and you know, that wasn't the right one, so that's why that didn't go well. Good for that, whatever. Now you're gonna get a job that's closer to your house, something that's more in line with what you enjoy doing, making way more money, something that serves you more, right? It doesn't have to be hard here, guys. We make it hard. Like literally, the creator doesn't come here to struggle. We make it that way. Like it's as easy as just intending to always be happy and have the right thoughts. It's that easy. And literally, if there's anything you want to experience, you just have to see what that looks like to you. If you want to meet the right partner, for instance, instead of thinking about all the ways that represent something negative to you by them not being in your life, you have to shift that and think about all the ways it makes you happy once they are in your life. And then start literally feeling that emotion and feeling those thoughts, even getting super detailed about it, like what they smell like, what they talk like, how the conversation is, where they work, what time they come home, what you guys do during the week. The more detail you can get about it, the closer it is. Like, and the more understanding the other party that's actually lining this up for you, because that aspect of you and the girl you're supposed to meet or the guy you're supposed to meet are the same over there. So instantly there will be, if it really is going to serve you guys to meet and you will end up getting married or something, there will be so many different paths that all of a sudden just get lined up right there, because it's not waiting for something to come and experiencing it that makes it real. It's the actual thought and how it makes you feel, because everything is here and now. All possible outcomes are happening right now, and if you think it, it's already happened. It's just a matter of you following the right guidance, because you're going to be urged to do weird things, certain things, and as long as it feels right and it brings you joy, then do it in that moment, because that's how the Marco Polo game works. Like, that's the only way it can communicate with you. But you have to keep your thoughts right, and this is what keeping your vibration up, your frequency up means. Because I know now, the moment you have these selfish human thoughts is when you stop getting that connection. And once you feel this connection, there's no like going back. There's no drug that can mimic it. There's no high that can mimic it. There's nothing as free feeling as completely all knowing and understanding, and just knowing anything you want is just a thought away, an emotion away, and you don't have to wonder. It's not like a matter of chance. It's like literally as matter of fact as it can be. You've never accidentally received anything. You have literally given yourself everything you've ever experienced through thought and emotion, right? If you want to manifest a bunch of money, right? Why do you need the money? Well, because I want to travel. Okay, it's important not to put any not to close any doors on how that can express itself. Like, your higher self can see up and over the mountains and the future and the past, and it can see every way to bring that experience to you. The moment you say something like, I need a lot of money to have that experience, you instantly close all the doors off to anything. Like, let's say like you like to travel, right? And you think you need a lot of money, then when you're going to get that call, it says, oh, you're a photographer, I'm going to fly you around the world to take pictures of my resorts. Okay, you don't need the money anymore, right? You're actually going to get paid to travel, but that experience wouldn't have been able to come to you had you only thought through money you could get it. And the other thing is, like, if there's something you're trying to bring into your life, like I said, do not dwell on what it means for it not to be there. Because some people will be like, I'm never going to meet the right guy, I'm never going to meet the right girl, all it is bad, and it just reflects to me how bad I am and what I'm not good enough, or I'm never going to have this money, I'm never going to have enough money for that. Instead of just being excited about the other end of it, like I said, because the negative end will not help you. So it's literally gotten to the point where every step I take is completely understood what I'm doing and who I can help, and everything is just completely quantified and known, and there's just no guesswork. There's clarity, and that's how it's supposed to be for everybody. Like, I can only imagine, because once you get here, you just want to bring everybody else here. When you get this, when you like have this awakening, you're going to want to save the world. But remember that not everybody is here to have the same experience as you. So some people are here to have a very human experience, very solid human experience with a lot of roadblocks and a lot of veils, and just human awareness, like, is all they're here for, and they're never going to get it. They don't want to get it. Just, it's acceptance. Just, whether that's your mom or your dad or your brother or sister, whatever, it doesn't matter. They're here for a reason. Remember, they are the creator. They're fine. They're going to be okay, but they need to have this experience, so allow them to have that. And We don't need to save the world, because to have any sort of lesson get learned, you have to have a place where people can go and experience negative things to get positive outcomes and lessons. Like, if you said, oh, we need to make this planet heaven on earth, well, I don't know if I'd not want a place to exist where I couldn't come learn, like, forgiveness, right? If you don't have somebody betray you or hurt your feelings, how are you going to learn how to forgive?